What a way to make no living in a 2-to-5. You could really get to drinking in a 2-to-5. You could implicate your feelings in a 2-to-5. What a way to make no living now.
UK band Dutch Uncles have returned for their 6th studio album, True Entertainment. I've been a huge fan of Dutch Uncles since their 2013 release, Out of Touch in the Wild. But I have to say, my favorite album so far was their last album, Big Balloon. It has been 6 years since they released Big Balloon, and now they are back and bigger than ever. In some ways, True Entertainment is a much more straightforward album, where Big Balloon had much more sort of like avant-garde experimentation. True Entertainment, true to its name, is a glistening pop album that from start to finish will have you dancing. There are elements of post-punk, new wave, and even art rock flourishes. The opening track, True Entertainment, sees lead singer Duncan Wallace crooning over these soaring, almost laser-like guitars. The lyrics seem to be about this explosive relationship, but it's hard to tell the metaphor from the true narrative. It almost sounds like this guy is literally on his way to blow something up, while Duncan sings in the chorus that I'm Mr. Right Side of Tragic Ends. We then get the glitchy sounding Damascenes. The song, to me, seems to be about the end of a relationship, as if the partner who is leaving feels almost nothing at all about the dissolution of the relationship. This song is such an infectious dance groove, with Duncan's vocals dripping with passion. His voice almost goes into this yell as he sings on the final chorus that it is all nothing to us now. Tropicala 2-to-5 is such a goofy song, but I love it. The song, which references both the hotel in The Godfather, but also the Dolly Parton song 9-to-5, is about how hard it is to make a living when you don't work a full-time job. This is also self-referential, as it is hard for Dutch Uncles, who are not the most well-known band, to make a living touring. This is also partly why I am reviewing this now, since this album came out a month ago. In part because I didn't hear about this album till like a week ago. It's also why they haven't released an album in 6 years, with all of them working full-time jobs now. Being a struggling musician can kind of suck sometimes. The song also features backup vocals by Anna Pryor of Metronomy, another fantastic UK band. I also have to mention that the music video for this song is incredible, with the band having a few afternoon pints, all while wearing business attire. Poppin' is a song I didn't immediately love, and it is still one of my least favorite songs, but it's also incredible. I especially love the chorus, where Duncan sensually sings, "Read my Muppet lips. Read my Muppet lips. Read my Muppet lips." The song has a funk groove, with the bass driving most of the song. I just wish the song had a bit more life to it during the verses. However, once Poppin' is finished, we get blasted by Exit Row, which has this clean electric guitar just strumming the same note over and over, while these drums and bass are again super dancey. To illustrate how danceable this track is, the other night I was making dinner and I was listening to the album when my daughter came in, and I kept trying to get her to dance, and she was saying no, she didn't want to, so I left her alone. However, when this song came on, she just involuntarily started moving, because there's something about this song that just will make you dance. We then get the incredible track, I'm Not Your Dad. The song has this constant energy of just plowing forward, with these bouncy synths punctuated with these heavy piano notes. The song really paints this picture of a neglectful father, with Duncan sounding like he just wants to be loved. It is so heartbreaking when he sings the line that there's always someone else. But considering how dancey the song is, it kind of reminds me of Kevin Bacon rage dancing in the warehouse in the movie Footloose. The song Deep End is another track that I didn't immediately love. Musically, it sort of stands out compared to the other songs, having much more of an 80s new wave vibe. The guitars even vaguely remind me of the song I Ran by the Flock of Seagulls. The chorus, though, feels heavy with almost a glam rock vibe, complete with a backup singer, like deep grunting, like, ooh, ah! The song seems to be about watching someone self-sabotage, and yet you sort of stay with them because you love them. But even Duncan acknowledges, like, what can I do in that circumstance? In Salvia is a more synth-driven track, complete with synthetic-sounding drums. It seems to be another song that is a reflection on trying to make it as a musician. Duncan sings about having dreams, but there also seems to be these hanging or lingering doubts about finally making it. He seems to be suggesting that the truth of whether they will make it is just over the hill, like if they just go a little bit farther, they will make it. Yet, the referencing of over the hill also seems to be like they've already reached their prime and they won't really make it. Again, Anna from Metronomy provides some soft-spoken vocals to this track that almost add this sense of a conscience. We then get the song End Belief, which is an epic song about our ultimate demise. But rather than leave us on a downer with that track, even though End Belief is in fact a great track, we instead end with Dead Letter. What a great end to this album. The song begins with almost a show tunes vibe, but with the same dancey energy as the rest of the album. Duncan's singing here is so cathartic. I find some of the lyrics here a bit hard to parse, but my sense of this song is that it is about shitty people online. I can hear like hints of COVID denial, fascist apologia. At one point, Duncan describes these online cruel invectives as the sounds of centrist gonorrhea. There's another great line where Duncan sings, but give it a whoop-de-doo from my dead grandma to you. In a shitty few years where we've experienced a lot of death at the hands of a disease, and then seeing people deny this crap online can be very infuriating. But halfway through the song, there is a tonal shift from more of this mocking show tunes vibe to this almost scolding tone. As Duncan repeats that you can make all these points if you want to, everyone agrees you have the right to do that, but by doing so, you're choosing the door you walk through. It's almost like he's cutting the ties from all these toxic people in his life, and it is very, very cathartic. Looking back at the title of the album, it almost feels mocking that true entertainment means some artists will economically suffer, or that it is a father figure who spends his money on luxury while neglecting his kids, or it's trolling people on the internet for fun while grandmothers die. Yet this album is itself truly entertaining with infectious, dancey pop melodies. It feels almost glamorous and flashy, like they have obtained true entertainment. I think this is by far Dutch Uncle's best album. For the last few weeks, I have been listening to it non-stop. I give this album a solid 9 out of 10. Did you enjoy this album as much as I did? I love this thing. I think it's incredible. Have a good weekend. Enjoy yourself. Treat yourself. Treat yourself by listening to this album. Yeah.